There's no doubt that Norway is a beautiful country. In the south of Norway is a beautiful little valley. This little gem features low-lying hills, beautiful little forests, and quaint homes, and unidentified lights in the sky. You heard that right. The 1980s were a different time. Life was simpler. Roller discos were easy to find, and arcades were the favorite hangout spot for kids and teens alike. The Walkman was also making waves, and it seems like every household in the world had one of these Cabbage Patch Kids. I know we did. MTV still played music back then too, and while the UFO craze of the 50s had largely died down, that doesn't mean there were still plenty of UFO enthusiasts left. So when reports of strange lights over the valley of Hessdalen emerged, the mobs descended. Since the 1930s, but as far back as the 1800s according to some sources, strange orbs of light have been spotted above the Hessdalen Valley. They come in various sizes and colors, and some move fast and some move slow, leading many to believe that they possess some form of intelligence. Now, when I say fast, I mean inexplicably fast. These orbs of light moved at blinding speeds. Others moved really slowly and slightly swaying, as though observing what was down below them. There were sightings here and there, but from 1981 to 1984, these orbs were spotted 15 to 20 times per week. And this isn't that long after the Rendlesham Forest incident, which has been widely covered on YouTube. This incident also involved unidentified lights in the sky. But moving on, thousands of people have now seen the Hessdalen Valley lights. Scientists, UFO enthusiasts, there's even video evidence of them.
Å, fy fader! Jeg filmer det, jeg har det på tape! Jeg har det her!
Pretty crazy, right? There's no denying that they do exist. But what are they? Is it possible that extraterrestrials have a particular interest in this otherwise unremarkable valley? Is there an alien base nearby? See, there were no viable explanations for these lights at the time. And get this, until today, they remain unexplained. By 1984, most of the UFO enthusiasts were leaving the area. I suppose they were expecting cigar or disc-shaped objects flying around, and instead were met with these formless lights, sometimes triangular. Okay, so these aren't aliens, but then what are they? They seem to possess some form of intelligence, or their movements wouldn't be so erratic. They wouldn't all differ so much. I mean, lightning always looks more or less the same, right? The northern lights are usually pretty consistent. So if this is a natural occurrence, why is there so much variation in these lights? Are these some form of energy beings? Are we seeing deceased humans? Allow me to explain. Between 1842 and 1847, Julius Robert von Meyer, James Prescott Joule, and Hermann von Hertzholt and Hermann von Helmholtz were forming the basics of what we know today as the law of conservation of energy. According to this law, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only change forms. Many have since related this to the human experience. When we die, where does our energy go? This leads us to an endless rabbit hole we can go down. But for this video, we'll stay out of theories of the afterlife and consciousness and all that. For now, we'll accept that our energy cannot be destroyed. So where does it go? What if some of it ends up in Norway above the Hessdalen Valley? Bear with me here. What if these lights are actually human energy moving through the gates of heaven? I mean, if I had to guess, I would never have guessed that the gates of heaven were above Norway. But who knows? What do you think? It's a cool theory, but it's only a theory based very loosely on the law of conservation of energy. All the rest of this theory is just pure speculation. Get used to that though. On this channel, we love to speculate. It's fun, isn't it? Another highly speculative theory I can come up with is that these are beings of pure energy. They come and go as they please. Perhaps they visiting Earth from outer space as a rare chance to see humans in action. Maybe it's part of their initiation. Maybe they move through a wormhole in time and space and end up above the Hessdalen Valley where the other side of the wormhole is. Another fun theory, huh? But if we continue in this vein, we might as well speculate that these are fairies, taking a break from guarding the forests of Norway to fly up and mess with the locals. Okay, enough silliness. Let's get into the actual science. Obviously, no scientist would believe that these were UFOs or spirit beings or even human souls. So studies were done. Now, almost 40 years later, we have a host of scientific papers to go through. The first was released in the year 2000 by EMBLA Group, which consisted of Italian and Norwegian scientists. This study focused on monitoring radio waves, particularly in the UHF, VLF, and ELF wavelengths. That's ultra high frequency, very low frequency, and extremely low frequency. I know, these naming conventions are creative, aren't they? This just refers to different ranges of megahertz, which is the oscillation in the radio waves that occurs. Are you still with me? Now, radio waves are invisible to the naked eye. These lights are clearly visible. So what does that mean? Well, it's unclear. Further analysis is required. This group continued their studies and by 2002 had found more strange things. A weird ionosphere was found by a nearby river. Piece of a spaceship? Probably not, but it does indicate that these strange lights may have something to do with unusual geological or chemical processes in the area. So, are weird lights in the sky the result of an unusual mineral content on the ground? Nope. This theory has never been proven, and this opens the door for other theories to emerge. Thus far, scientists are baffled. It wasn't until 2016 that a paper emerged that said that these lights could be caused by cosmic radiation. Now, this one is interesting. You see, cosmic radiation is not visible to the naked eye. But the Hessdalen Valley does have unique ground and water mineral contents. These were found in earlier studies with the ionosphere, and so could this be the cause of the lights in the sky? Testing yielded promising results in this regard. But were the tests of this theory conclusive? Nope. It does make a very convincing case for the superposition of cosmic rays into the visible spectrum due to the unusual mineral contents and formation of the valley. But the paper also suggests that further testing needs to be done in order to support this theory. To this day, it remains unproven. It's just another theory for now. This brings us to the modern age. In 2021, a paper was released that might finally explain this, but to understand this paper, we must first understand a few basic concepts. These are Maxwell's equations, temperature inversion, and geomagnetic storms. Normally, layers of air that are higher up are colder than the layers of air below. But under certain circumstances, warmer air gets trapped in a higher layer with cooler air below. What this basically means is that any sort of air pollution gets trapped under this warmer layer of air. That's kind of irrelevant though. What is relevant though is that these layers can sometimes carry an electric charge. Maxwell's equations are used to explain how electrical charge and electrical current can produce magnetic and electric fields. And finally, a geomagnetic storm is a major disturbance to the Earth's magnetosphere. They happen when there's sufficient energy exchange caused by high solar winds. So, without going into too much detail, what does this paper propose? Using a little-known solution to Maxwell's equations, it's possible that an electrically charged inversion layer in the atmosphere, present during a geomagnetic storm, could be producing these lights. This also ties back to the cosmic radiation theory. It's kinda similar. The math does seem to make sense, but sadly this paper provides no proof of this theory. It seems to be another dead end. It's 3 years later and I haven't seen any proof of this theory emerge yet. And so after 200 years of seeing these lights above Hessdalen, we still have no explanation. And it's not just Hessdalen, these lights have been spotted in other parts of the world too. You've heard just about all you can on this topic now, including the major scientific studies. So, do you have a theory you can put forth? Let me know in the comments. Or, let me know in the comments which theory was your favorite. For now though, I'll accept the fact that we are seeing human souls entering heaven. If you can find any evidence to back that up for me, I would be endlessly grateful. Apart from the law of conservation of energy and pure speculation, I've got nothing. And that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this exploration into what we can only assume is a spectacular natural phenomenon. Consider subscribing for future videos. And if you have suggestions for future explorations, let me know in the comments. In the next video, we'll be talking about ghosts. I'll see you there.